Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this.
They're disgusting. She's Anna Navarro in your wildest imagination. You could never solo host a show. You will only ever make it as part of an ensemble, and you could never hope to achieve the success. So you can sit in your little cheap seats all day long and enjoy your little negative henpecking, but your careers are going nowhere.
How ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
The View just ran straight into an $800 million wake-up call, and Megyn Kelly arrived ready to enjoy every second of it. Karoline Leavitt didn't just come out on top in court. She turned the whole situation into a victory celebration. Meanwhile, Megyn kept firing off one sharp jab after another. Joy seemed completely caught off guard, Whoopi looked like she was about to lose her patience, and Megyn treated the courtroom win like the highlight of her latest comedy set. So how did this daytime TV showdown spin so wildly out of control? Buckle up, because this story only gets more unbelievable from here.
ABC, having just paid $15 million for a defamation lawsuit, would think not to engage in conspiracy theories about assassination attempts, but I guess that's too much to ask from The View. I mean, I gotta ask you, because they said it, are you aware of any plots from Elon Musk to push President Trump down the stairs?
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about that.
After years of dishing out sharp opinions, The View finally found itself on the receiving end of a massive reality check. An $800 million legal blow sent shockwaves through the ABC studio. Karoline Leavitt, yes, that Karoline Leavitt, didn't just score a courtroom win. She left The View scrambling to recover. And Megyn Kelly? She didn't show up with popcorn to watch the drama unfold. She came ready to turn up the heat, delivering one blistering remark after another.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason.
1 minute you're sitting there with a coffee, throwing out bold opinions in front of millions. Next, you're staring down the financial nightmare that nobody saw coming. For years, The View built its reputation on quick jokes and sharp commentary, often taking aim at whoever was making headlines that week. But here's the catch. When those on-air remarks cross the line and aren't carefully backed up, what starts as a clever one-liner can quickly turn into a legal battle with an eye-watering price tag.
Melania Trump came out and said she's about as pro-choice as they come. And here was the reaction on The View.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
Would you look? This is a network that still runs out fact checks to these women, like it's concerned about them staying factual.
And this wasn't some small find or a simple mistake that everyone could laugh off. We're talking about an $800 million hit, the kind of number that keeps executives awake at night and makes sponsors think twice about sticking around. It's the kind of blow that sends panic through the boardroom and leaves network bosses wondering if it's finally time to rethink everything they thought was working.
Her disgusting, gross elitism and her complete out-of-touch nature with respect to the rest of the world. Sunny Hostin goes on The View and decides now would be a great time to dump all over the so-called uneducated.
What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding. You have Latino men, actually, voting more for him. And you have, and black men was not the story. We're not the story here because they voted almost 80% for the vice president.
This wasn't just a courtroom loss. It was a full-scale reality check. Karoline didn't simply win the case. She walked away with a victory that sent shockwaves through the media. And Megyn Kelly wasted no time weighing in, turning the fallout into a lesson on what can happen when a talk show pushes headlines harder than facts. When attention starts taking priority over accuracy, the consequences can be enormous. What began as another heated day on The View quickly turned into a legal battle that grabbed everyone's attention. At first, it looked like business as usual, strong opinions, heated debates, and plenty of controversy. But this time, the stakes were different. Karoline Leavitt came prepared with evidence, an experienced legal team, and the determination to see the case through. It wasn't just a public back and forth. It became a powerful reminder that defamation laws carry real consequences, and that words spoken on national television can come with a very high price.
Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 47th president of the United States, yay, on January 20th of this month. Not everyone's happy about it, and many people would like us to be more focused on the insurrection that he personally unleashed, if you ask them. As we discussed earlier, they think it's as bad as like cost, and you don't have to take my word for it. Here is Sunny Hostin of
January
The View
6th was an
today.
atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, you know, like World War II, things that happened, you know, like cost.
And what a spectacular collapse it was. An $800 million judgment isn't just a big number. It's the kind of hit that shakes an entire network and forces everyone to rethink what went wrong. Somewhere in a Manhattan office, you can imagine executives scrambling to figure out how things unraveled so badly. Meanwhile, Karoline Leavitt stayed calm and collected and walked away looking like the clear winner. She didn't just win the case, she claimed the high ground. Then came Megyn Kelly. She wasn't interested in playing nice. She jumped into the conversation with one sharp remark after another, treating the whole situation like the outcome she'd been expecting all along. Her response wasn't just criticism. It was a relentless takedown, delivered with confidence, precision, and the satisfaction of someone who had been watching the story build for years.
And then you get this little lecture from, forgive me, those is over at The View.
I'm a Christian girl. When something like this happens to you, like this assassination attempt, and you say something like God was watching me, that is a very unchristian thing to say because it's very narcissistic. What? Well, God was watching me and not watching them. There's something very disturbing.
I should have pulled the plug on that mic yesterday.
That's obnoxious. I don't know what church she goes to. That is how people of faith talk, and the intimation is never he was looking out for me, but not those.
If sarcasm were an Olympic sport, Megyn Kelly would have walked away with the gold. She didn't need to shout, rant, or make a dramatic scene. Instead, she calmly laid out her points with the confidence of someone who believed the facts were already on her side. Her delivery was sharp, her arguments were precise, and that knowing smile said more than any one-liner ever could. Megyn didn't just criticize The View. She challenged the idea that the show was untouchable, arguing that confidence means very little when the legal system gets involved. But how did it reach this point? How did a rising political figure like Karoline Leavitt end up taking on one of daytime TV's biggest shows? The answer is simple. While The View kept playing to the cameras, Leavitt focused on the legal battle. And when courtroom rules replace TV debates, the stakes become a whole lot higher.
Whoopi Goldberg was angry when Alyssa pointed out that Trump went to the funeral of Officer Diller.
Yes.
On Long Island, and Joe Biden went to a podcast. Look at Whoopi Goldberg's reaction.
Choose what you like there, but for Republicans, it was good imagery.
Really?
One day later, yes.
And I'm asking that because I was so offended because you know who showed up.
Karoline's legal team didn't just file a lawsuit and hope for the best. They came prepared with defamation claims, detailed evidence, and documentation they believe backed up every argument. During discovery, they dug through emails, show scripts, and internal communications, building a case piece by piece. That's when the pressure really started to build. In court, accusations aren't judged by how entertaining they sound. They're measured against the facts. Claims of reputational damage, career harm, and reckless conduct quickly became a center of the fight. What The View may have seen as another heated debate turned into a high-stakes legal battle with enormous consequences. Leavitt's team focused on proving the damage step by step, while she remained calm throughout the process. In the end, the case became a reminder that on national television, accountability can reach everyone, including the hosts.
That hot mess that they air in the mornings, called The View, had to issue not one, not two, not three, but 4 corrections, legal corrections. 4 legal notes. We only have 3 of them on camera, but look at this.
I have another legal note.
My God.
Both Trump and Pam Bondi have denied allegations of a quid pro quo. I have a legal note.
Not to mention what they did at that debate, where once again, they tried to fact check only one side, and then when their fact checks got fact checked, they cowered. They cowered in fear. I mean, this is a pattern with them.
For years, The View seemed comfortable behind a reputation built on influence and loyal audiences. Karoline Leavitt wasn't seen as much of a threat. That turned out to be a costly mistake. Instead of backing down, she fought back with a legal team that challenged the show in a way few expected. Meanwhile, Megyn Kelly watched the entire story unfold with obvious satisfaction. When the verdict came down, she didn't need to raise her voice. She used the moment to argue that media accountability still matters, delivering one sharp observation after another. Rather than portraying The View as the victim, she presented it as a warning of what can happen when bold commentary outruns careful reporting. The impact reached far beyond one courtroom. Across the media world, the message was hard to ignore. Suddenly, headlines became more cautious, producers thought twice before pushing the limits, and legal teams found themselves playing a much bigger role before the camera started rolling.
They love nothing more than tearing down women with the most petty and vacuous of insults. Leavitt appears to be a fierce operator, but she's also 27 and arguably quite glamorous. So of course, the kind and progressive voices at The View reacted to her appointment like this.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
The fallout spread quickly across the media industry. Newsrooms became more cautious, producers leaned on legal teams, and every headline was examined a little more carefully. This wasn't just about politics, it became a reminder that opinions carry consequences when they're presented as facts. Megyn Kelly argued that the case wasn't about celebrating anyone's downfall. To her, it was about accountability. She used the verdict to highlight the importance of responsible reporting, saying that even major media platforms aren't beyond legal scrutiny. The impact was impossible to ignore. Advertisers grew more cautious, producers paid closer attention to legal risks, and conversations about defamation suddenly became a bigger part of newsroom decisions. The case sent a message that words spoken on national television can have serious consequences. For Karoline Leavitt, the legal battle elevated her profile and reshaped how many people viewed her. Instead of backing down, she challenged a powerful media platform and came out on top. Megyn Kelly amplified that message, arguing that influence doesn't place anyone above accountability. Whether people agreed with the outcome or not, the case became a reminder that public commentary comes with responsibility. In the end, the biggest lesson wasn't about who delivered the sharpest criticism. It was about how quickly careless words can turn into costly legal battles.